Hey guys, so so I finally passed coding interviews, and to be honest, I feel really happy about it. But at the same time, like the preparations and all the hard work that I put in, it felt pretty bad as well. Like I think I kind of went too hardcore about it just because I was really scared that I would fail again, and so I went pretty hardcore on it. But for you, maybe I mean for others, I don't really recommend you to go as hardcore as me. Like I really practice like 6 to 8 questions per day. It was really crazy to me. In my opinion, I think it was really crazy for anyone trying to um, trying to pass coding interviews. I think that's a lot of crazy. So I think at the end of the day, like the lesson for this is like stay consistent. Like if you have time right now and you're not really rushing for interviews, I think you should really just do like 1 to 2 questions. Maybe just one question I think is enough. Like on Liquid every day. Just one questions to like freshen up your kind of all the data structures and all the data structures on special algorithms and things like this. It's just it will help you in the long run, like when you're trying to go for our interviews. Oh yeah, and don't like assume that you can just cheat on interviews because they will ask you to go on site, and on site means you literally have to showcase your hardcore skills, and that's what I get as well. So like you just have to get your technicals, your foundations strong, and yeah, that's about it. Like to talk about the coding interviews a little bit. Um, there were like 3 rounds of it. The first round was obviously the coding interviews. It was around like 1 hour. Like the first 10 minutes was like introduction and stuff, blah blah blah, and talk about some project experience shit like this, and then go through the resume a little bit. And then the next 50 minutes is basically allocated for 2 coding questions. I would say like some part of it was luck actually because I got pretty lucky because the questions that I got asked was like probably the easiest I can get. Because the first question I got asked was a 3 questions, and it's specifically a binary search tree question. So if you know about binary search tree, basically binary search tree is just like all the nodes on your left. They have values smaller than or equal to whatever than your current node, and then all the values on your right nodes is basically larger than your current node. So basically, like it's 3 questions, but it has some certain constraint for it, right? So basically, the question was about asking, given a binary search tree, you want to find all the values that are within this interval, right? You give it an interval and you just search for this value. Overall, I think the question is just about recursion and depth first search, and you got to know a little bit of characteristics of BST to be able to solve it. So I think I got pretty lucky on it. The first question, I actually kind of just solved it like within like 5 minutes. So it was like actually not 5 minutes, maybe like 5 to 6 or 7 minutes. So it was pretty quick, and I think that kind of like boosted my confidence during the interview. Like I felt very confident, and I just like solved it in one go. And like the interviewer was also like pretty impressed as well. So I think it kind of helped me. It boosted my confidence for my next questions. Which my next question I also got really lucky because it was just a hash map question. So like I got pretty lucky about it, and just like you can just throw a hash map. Basically, it's just a normal lead code. I would say a medium lead code question that you can just throw a hash map into it, and just there you go. Like it's pretty simple, and yeah, that's about it. Like I think most of the time the interviewer want to just like assess your coding kind of fundamentals, like whether can you even code or not, can you even write some codes, can you like do you know the coding fundamentals. Fortunately I think everyone's like fortunately I use Python, so like the language isn't very difficult to write. It was just like purely like English, writing English. But anyway, I like you get my idea. Like the first round I got pretty lucky, and yeah, like and then I passed the first round, was like really good for me. And so like the second round was actually not really related to coding interviews anymore. It was mostly like system design. So the system design questions, I would say I got a pretty easy question as well. It asked me to design a URL shortener, which is like really easy. So I mean, there's not really nothing about it. It's just a URL shortener questions. You can find any like kind of solutions online. I basically nailed the questions, and yeah, there's really nothing much about it, I think. So for system design questions, I would recommend you to really go through some of the system design. There are a lot of resources online nowadays. You can just go through it, and the way I approached system design was actually kind of funny as well. I just went with the best solutions on the first go, and was like the interview was like, okay, cool. But with this, but I felt like most of the time system design, the more important part was about deep diving into certain areas. For example, for URL shortener, I think the deep dive part was obviously about how you shorten the URL. You can come up with like hashing solution and things like this. That's the first part. The second part was actually about deep diving into certain technologies, like for example, some database technologies, like how you scale it, like how you're gonna optimize your query or stuff like that. So they did really ask this because honestly, your shortener is really the simplest questions you can ever get. Like I got pretty lucky at it, so I guess the luck is on my way. Anyway, the offer actually was for a senior software engineer role, so I was pretty like shocked as well when I got these easy questions. It was for a senior engineer role, so yeah, maybe even God want to help me. And so the final round is basically a hiring manager round. Basically hiring manager. It was just about mostly behavioral and cultural questions. I think at this round you shouldn't really worry too much about technical. For me, I think I've always done well in like behavioral and cultural questions just because I'm able to speak and I'm able to like communicate, like I'm a team player, I'm really positive. I think in this round you just need to focus on that, show that you have a positive energy and you're really excited into working with them. And also, there might be times that not actually might they always a time when they ask you like, what's your biggest challenge or whatever, what's the bigger weakness. Do be honest about it. Just say like, you're sometimes you will weak at this area. It's fine. It's totally fine. I think they just want to see that whether or not you acknowledge your own weakness and you would like work hard in the future to like rectify it or something to improve yourself. So overall, I think like the whole kind of interview wasn't. I kind of like over prepared for it. In my opinion, I think I kind of just over prepped for it because the kind of questions that I got wasn't really that difficult. I mean, if I ever get like dynamic programming questions, I would still be able to solve it, given the fact that I've probably solved around like 170. I'm not sure. Let me check. I think around 170 plus lead code questions that I got. Let me see. Yeah, that's right. I don't know whether you can see it or not. But yeah, I solved around like 172 questions. You can see like 39 easy. Most of the question I focused on was on medium, which is like, damn, it was like 113. And hard, I solved around 20 questions of hard, which I really don't recommend because I don't think any company will ever like interview for hard questions unless you are interviewing for like a staff role. So like a staff engineer or principal engineer. So I don't really think that anyone will actually want to interview you for hard questions. But that's not to be said about like fan companies because I don't really know about fan companies. This offer that I got was from one of the tech unicorns, in Southeast Asia. I would probably put it as a tier two, close to tier one companies. But I'm fine with it, right? Because I don't think I'm in any time soon joining Fang soon. But right now, this offer is really good enough for me, in my career. So I'm pretty satisfied with it. So anyway, like I think I kind of did over prep a little bit. In my opinion, I think you probably need to solve around 100, to even to be safe 150, right? Just did the need code 150. I think 150 is really good already. Like for me, like I say, I was really scared that I would fail. So I just kind of over prep and I guess hard work pay off. At the end of the day, I think all that matters is the offer. And yeah, so I finally can be employed and no longer be unemployed and just maybe one day can buy my own house and not stay in my parents' house anymore. Well, just kidding. So yeah, that's it. The coding interviews. Honestly, the only way to be good at it is just to practice. I probably think like coding interviews are like the easiest in my opinion because you can obtain it just by practicing. You just need to just practice over 100 plus questions. I think you are most likely guaranteed to pass like 90% of the coding interviews in my opinion. I think that's all about it. There's really nothing else you need to know about it. Just practice and you'll be fine, right? Just don't over prep like me. I think I was a little over prep, but yeah, just practice.